Have you ever wondered how we as humans can colonize the moon? If you think about it, it is pretty doable because the moon is near to us and we have been able to bring people up to the moon and back. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Steve Maktoof and I have the audacity to cover the most bizarre topics there is. Now you see, since the dawn of mankind, we humans have been fascinated by the sky and its celestial movements. We have always dreamed how to fly to reach these celestial bodies. Well, probably aliens have taught the cavemen of these secrets, but they were probably too dumb or just think of bananas or something. And so the desperate and futile attempts began. Well, there was a monk who made artificial wings, jumped out of a tower and started flapping like crazy. There was a Chinese dude who sticks 47 fireworks to a chair and sit on it. Well, I think you could probably know what happened. But finally, in 1969, we humans have achieved this seemingly unachievable. Apollo 11 carrying Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon, marking the first human expansion towards space. Bringing people up to the moon is easy, but staying there and colonize the moon is on another whole level. So join me now, ladies and gentlemen, as I may present to you how to colonize the moon for dummies. Lesson number 1. The money. Well, it is estimated that it would cost about $36 billion to sustain 4 astronauts in a year. Worldwide cooperations between space agencies like NASA, Roscosmos, which is the Russian space agency, and the European Space Agency would be vital to the mission. Now at first $36 billion may sound like a lot, but if you take this number and divide it between the whole population of the USA, Europe and Russia, it would cost about $32 per person. Now we have money aside, we can move on to the next phase, the preparation. Now, to colonize the moon, we have to know the moon. For those of you who has been living under a rock, the moon is the Earth's natural satellite, which is the third planet from the sun. The moon has a total diameter of about 3,500 kilometers, which is about the size of Europe or the United States. The moon has a mass of about 7,342 multiplied by 10 to the power of 22 kilograms, but I am sure that the moon is still lighter than you are. The moon orbits the Earth with a distance about 385,000 kilometers, which in between we can fit about 29 Earths. Now that you have known the basic information about the moon, I will introduce to you our astronaut crew. Our crew consists of 4 people, the first of them being Jeff, our captain and world-renowned engineer. Now Jeff has the mission of leading our crew members to check on their well-being and to report directly back to Earth. Now the second one is Mike, who is a biologist/botanist who has the mission of growing plants and food for the crew. Third one is Tom, who is a chemist who will be working tightly with Mike on how to develop agriculture on the moon. And last but not least is Dave, who is a physicist/astronomer who will be studying the effects that the moon imposes on humans. Our astronauts are trained extensively in the fields of psychology, mental health, and physical health. They also possess excellent teamworking capabilities, problem-solving abilities. Because the moon doesn't have an atmosphere like Earth, it will cause a few trouble for our astronauts' living conditions. For instance, temperature can be as high as 121 degrees Celsius and to be as low as minus 133 Celsius. Furthermore, because there are no atmosphere, radioactive sun rays are likely to reach the moon's surface, which can cause diseases such as cancer. Because of this, our astronaut will be living in inflatable buildings, which will be further then coated by a layer of aluminum. This helps prevent radioactive sun rays and extreme temperatures. Now to power our colony, we will most likely to use solar energy or nuclear energy. Because of these extreme conditions, our astronaut crew will most likely to stay indoors and to operate with the help of robots outside. Now we're going to move on to lesson number 3, supplies. Should humans be able to exist on the moon, we will need to develop agriculture and be independent from Earth. Well, lucky for us, there are researches and experiments conducted by NASA which had proved it is possible to grow plants on the moon. People may ask the question, well, how is it possible without water? There is no water on the moon. The answer might surprise you. Turns out there are water on the moon, which can be found at the 2 poles of the moon. Water also brings another advantage to us, as water consists purely out of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen particles can be later separated to use to make rocket fuels. Water can also be used to farm fish in artificial tanks. Now, regular supply trips from Earth may also be needed to sustain our colony. Now, I wouldn't call this a colony, but given a few years, our colony will definitely expand and to be more secure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically all that you need to colonize the moon. $36 billion to sustain 4 astronauts in a year, and with a time limit of 5 years, humans should be able to establish a self-sustained and independent colony on the moon. Now, if you like the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video to support our channel. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to colonize the moon in less than 6 minutes.